All right, so welcome back to TWC Projects, and today what I'm trying to do is create a nice level space here that we can move the sawmill from where it is now up there down here and put the extended track on it, because I have enough track to do 16-foot boards. Right now I can only do 10-foot the way it's set up, and so I wanted to create a much better location. And probably, so we've got a spot here that's about 25 feet total. I think we need about 20 feet, so that'll give us a little bit of room on each end. And we're giving the excavator a little bit of a trial run, and so far it's been great. It stayed, the temperature, the engine temperature stayed right at 2 bars out of the 5 or 6. So that's working great. I also, a couple other things that I've done since the last video, I kind of patched together. This whole piece was smashed, broken in half, ripped in half. So I basically put a piece of sheet metal, pop riveted on, painted the whole thing, put the decals on. So the inside's almost done. It's looking a lot better. Cleaned up a bunch of the rubber stripping stuff that was all falling apart. The other thing I did to the excavator that I didn't show in the last video was this battery mount right there. There was nothing. The battery was just kind of floating around. It's not even the right battery for it, but it seems to work fine. So I took a piece of sheet metal and put a couple bends in it, drilled a couple holes, smoothed out the edges, painted it, and it's working perfectly. So, oh yeah, and I put the blade on because that wasn't on in the last video. So one thing I didn't get to do is pound out this piece a little bit, but I just decided the day I had the paint going, I just needed to do it, so it's fine. But other than that, everything else is looking really good. I've got some initial scratches on it already. I used it yesterday, cleaning up a bunch of fallen trees. So I had like a couple of big trees that had come down. Oh, I see I got another one right there leaning, and that's gonna fall soon, so I'll have to deal with that at some point too. But not today, because today we're gonna try to get this leveled out nicely. And I'm close. I eyeballed it, and then once I got out of the machine and looked at it, I could see I had a hump here, and it appears it's just about 2 inches high here. Those two are pretty darn close, within a 1/4 inch, and that one's actually within a 1/4 inch. So it's mainly this hump here I need to get rid of. Anyway, that's what I'm up to today. I thought I'd bring you up to speed, and it gives me a chance. I haven't gotten a chance to try out this new Johnson, I think it's the Johnson laser level system. And it's looking pretty good so far, so I'll share more with that, share more with you about that as I use it more, get a little experience with it. But I've got a lot of projects that are going to need it, and hopefully soon I'll be in a position next weekend. I'm planning to get the excavator and the dump truck back up to Bear Ridge, and hopefully we get back to that. I had to take that hiatus just to do all the work on this thing, but I am so glad that I did, because it turned out so great. It really looks super now, and most importantly, it's running really well. So I'm excited. Anyway, welcome to TWC Projects, where we like to create things, fix things, and enjoy God's amazing creation outdoors. And today we're going to create a space to move the sawmill so that we can put it to better use and utilize it more fully. All right, let's get going. So I'm putting the forms together out of some 2x4s, pretty bad ones at that. These are ones that I had problems on the mill with, or I was having problems with the mill, and that's why they didn't turn out great, but I figured that would be a perfect use for these, to use them to make my cement forms. So what I've done is I've set these are nice because they adjust here and you got the little prop up here. So I've set this end for 48 inches, set this end for 42 inches. So I first cut a square end, get a good square end on the very first piece I cut, and then I slide it down, cut it at 48, drop it over there, and I flip it over, slide it over to that one, cut the other end off so that I get a 42 inch with squared ends on them. And I'm just screwing them together. And then of course, once I get them out there in place, I'll I'll measure corner to corner to try to get them as square as possible. Quite frankly, it doesn't matter. None of this, I'm just trying to get some solid pads that aren't going to move around, that I can screw down into or bolt down into. And so I'll show you more of that as I get further along. But this part made sense to do up here where I had the quick access to the chop saw. And it's a little cooler, as well as I had a full flat surface that I could put these on, because these are going to flip over. So the side that's facing down right now, and I put a little arrow on so I'd know which side was up. So the side that's flush on the floor, that's the one I want to be facing up when I put the forms out there, so that'll be smooth. The bottom doesn't matter, it's going to be all over the place, and you can see these boards are kind of bad in places, so not a perfect job, but again, very functional for what I need it for. So let's keep going. All right, so the good news is the cement mixer is working really well. The generator is working really well. Not even a blip for the generator. I actually could have probably run a bigger cement mixer than that on it. I didn't realize it had that much power, but anyway, after I finished trying to smooth it out, then I went around the edges. I found the center and I put my hook in the center, and I'll tell you why in a second, but let me show you what these look like. So I just basically, it's just a nut and a washer, a big washer, but I taped it on there real well so that when I was plunging it down in through the wet cement, that the washer wouldn't move, that would stay in place, because I wanted to have as much surface area as I can get on it. Because my goal for these, you know, everything that I'm doing kind of here at my current home, hopefully I can reuse as much of it as I can up at the future home, Bear Ridge. And so I figured that this may not work. It may just break right in the middle, because especially since it's not thick enough, but there is rebar in there to help give it some rigidity, some strength. But hopefully I can use the tractor or the excavator and through the hook and hopefully lift it up and put it onto a trailer and take it up to Bear Ridge. All right, so I think we're gonna wrap it up here. We got 2 cement blocks poured here. Third one we'll do when I go buy some more cement. For now, this thing worked really well. I'm gonna take it up to the house though, where I have a hose, and properly clean it, because that stuff's gonna harden on pretty quickly. The generator, flawless, worked perfectly, no problem. So I think these turned out pretty well. This, I think I have a lot of footage between clearing the area and putting in building the forms and putting them in, and so I think it's probably a good place to wrap up here. But in a future video, you will see the third one finished, and in that video, I'll be moving the sawmill from where it is now loosely on some concrete blocks that are all crooked to some nice level cement. I'll probably build some kind of a bigger platform as well for the mill, and put the extension on, because it's going to be I think a little over 19.5 feet in length with the extensions on, so that I can cut 16-foot boards. So that'll be, if not the next video, shortly after that. It'll be soon. So anyway, thank you as always for coming along with me as I create things, fix things, enjoy God's amazing creation outdoors, even when it's over 100 degrees today. The feels like it's over 100 degrees. I think it's 97. And but there is a breeze, a little bit of a breeze. So if you're in the shade, it's pretty good. Just drinking lots of water and resting in the shade periodically. But this will be a good place to wrap this up. So thank you again for watching. Thank you as always for subscribing, hitting the bell to get notified when new ones come out. Thumbs up if you like it, share with a friend. And until next time, have a fantastic week, and I will see you on the next project.